last year, so
that's so nice.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to do it again.
So I've put together a video of the weekend, kind of wrapping everything up.
Last year I came third. The start list is looking pretty strong this year, so we'll see how I get on. I'm going to try my absolute best. The target departure time this morning was 10 AM. I woke up at 9:30 after not being very well this morning. I picked up a bit of a bug in Girona, which apparently other people picked up too, but it was so strange because I thought I had food poisoning after having some sushi. And yeah, just had like fever, chills, poorly stomach. Not fun, but it's okay because I'm going to be fine by Sunday. I'm certain of it. Really looking forward to this one. Like, the atmosphere last year was so much fun. What did you just ask me?
No, it makes sense. I had a boyfriend who lived in Chester, which is near Manchester, and he was like, I'm on the border of Wales, I'm Welsh. He wasn't Welsh, he was not Welsh. But I was like, so we're going up north. And then I noticed we're going to the side. And I'm like, why are we going to the side when Wales is up? It's
So,
very complicated.
Courtney thought Wales was northern.
No, I tried to see.
When we got to Wales, it was getting dark, but Mikey and I went for a quick 40-minute spin down the beach, and my stomach was not very happy. Good morning.
Hi, Bridge. 70 to 90.
Come on.
The hokers were really excited.
So it was actually so windy, none of my audio picked up, but what I'm saying here is that I'm out on the beach doing a recce and my tyres are feeling good, but I'm realising that they are very much beach tyres, and I've been told that there are slippy, muddy bits on the course, but they're very aesthetic and I'm not sure whether it's worth changing them. But yeah, that's what I'm rambling on about here.
Akira! Hiya! I'm trying not to get sand in my eyes. I can't see.
I checked out the course with a few friends and we were checking out different lines and which bits we thought were smarter to run and which bits we thought we could ride. I quite enjoyed Mikey's commitment to the run here.
What is that?
I was like, is that going too deep?
Yeah, I know. You got this! What's your run?
It was horrific. Everyone, I said, you were all hyping it up to be the most beautiful run I've ever going to experience. Sand was in my eye. My own foot bumped into my own calf because the wind blew it.
Hiya! Hello! Hiya! I have done a recce this morning.
I would like to apologise for the awful audio here. I think I need to buy a new phone. I don't really know what's wrong with it.
And yeah, to be honest, I was told the course is super slippy and I need to change my tyres, but did a recce and maybe a couple of corners were a little bit sketchy, and if I'm going fast then I'll have to just be careful, but I think it's worth me saving some watts on the beach section and going faster on that, on the semi-slicks, and then just like slowing down on the muddy bits towards the end.
You enjoying your juice box?
My tummy's so sore. That is exactly what I need.
Is this a fashionable outfit? Or am I still expecting it? We've kind of not been getting content constantly because I've been in and out of like feeling awful and just moping, feeling sorry for myself and trying not to throw up. But I'm a lot better now, like a lot better. Classic chicken and rice, but with some pesto to try and add some flavour. That's how Bridget feels about chicken and rice.
My audio was awful again here, so basically I just said I've woken up, I've not vomited, and it looks like the weather's okay, but it's super flooded, and I'm a bit worried about the course. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Started it.
Oopsie! Did it warm up? You see yourself?
It's only 25 minutes ago.
not for me. Carnage. So he's biting down and he's pedaling.
So the first big debate of this year's edition was run or ride the first section, and I decided to ride it because I'd ridden it the day before, even though it was quite kind of like broken up and softer than the day before. But I was like, do you know what, I can ride this sand, so I went to ride it. A couple of girls did run and they seemed to be further ahead, but they're definitely cross riders because the way they mounted their bikes is not how I can mount my bike. But I got in an okay position here, and I was just trying to get basically on the good bits of sand that were faster, but also try and get some coverage in the wheels. But honestly, so difficult. Like, if every so often it felt like I had a puncture, and I think it was just where I was riding in the sand. Like, I think I was just riding on really soft sand. You can hear from the wind just how ridiculously strong the wind was, and I think I'm just not a very intelligent bike rider when it comes to riding the wind and knowing where to sit, because I was just really struggling to try and get really any draft from anyone. But in this direction on the beach, it was like a tail crosswind coming from the left, so you really wanted to be on the right hand side, and I was struggling to get myself over there. At the end of the first beach section, I actually think I was in a pretty good position within the women's field. I was just behind Hattie, who ended up coming third. But we came to hit this first section that I hadn't seen before because it was in like a military section. And there's Hattie there just past me. And we came in, and honestly, I just felt like my heart sink. I just saw this huge bog in front of me, and the person in front just got off the bike. And I honestly was like, oh no, this is a disaster. I don't know how I'm going to get through any of this very fast. Like, I don't have the skills to hop off the bike or hop on the bike or ride through really thick mud. And basically just from this point in the race, I just started losing position after position after position, and I think my motivation just completely dropped because I knew that I had beach tyres, not tyres for this sort of terrain and this sort of conditions, firstly, but also that I just wasn't feeling 100% and I hadn't fully recovered from the stomach bug. I do feel like another element was just my lack of ability to kind of push around people and ride around people. I kept getting stuck, but not being able to do anything about it, and I didn't want to shout or like push people out the way, and I tried a bit later on, but people didn't move for me, whereas I found like there were people who were like literally pushing me out the way, crashing into me to get around me, and I think I just don't have that kind of like cyclocross rider mentality. I also just made some really questionable line choices. Like, you can see here, I'm just completely on the wrong side and I followed the wrong person. And then I'm suddenly like, oh, now I need to go over to the other side. And yeah, none of my decision making was very fast or efficient. When you're this far back in the race, you just can't really control what other people are going to do around you, and people are going to make some like questionable lines or crash, and then you're going to be held up even further. And I think I just, in my head, I had that, and I was like, oh well, like, just got to finish it now. So this next section was actually soul destroying, and I think anyone who did this race would have to agree. It was a headwind of ridiculous magnitude and crosswind, and we started forming these like echelons along the beach. And I sort of realised at this moment, I was like, oh no, I'm not in an echelon, like I need to find someone to sit to the left of. And yeah, honestly, this was some of the worst riding I've ever experienced in my life. Like, it felt like I was riding through thick, like treacly air. It was so hard. I have to say I did really enjoy that drummers moment just before the end of the first lap. So then the lap after the beach section went into like a sand dune section, which was probably the best bit of the course. And this was most similar to previous year's editions.
Are you right? Oh.
It's safe to say I think I've got some cyclocross skills to build, because I should be able to get around people in that situation, but I just kind of get knocked and go, ugh, like I'm gonna have to like walk it and then hop back on slowly. But yeah, this bit was just so much fun. Like, I really love the sandy single track around here. This section had a sign calling it the Puddle of Doom, and I would say it really was a puddle of doom. It was a very, very deep puddle, and I do fear for everyone's bikes after it. With that rider coming off in front of me, I really tried to stay on my bike then, but it was just so slippy, and I had like semi-slick tyres. It was impossible, and I just loved Tasha's like moment here where she just dived into the water to get around. I think I needed to commit a bit better like that at various moments. But yeah, it's safe to say the course was quite different from the day before when I'd ridden it, when I could ride it on the semi-slick tyres, and this time it was just dangerously slippy in points.
Oh!
So then we only had 2 laps this year because the course was longer and weirder because you went up and down the beach. So then we went round for the second lap, and you can just hear how ridiculously windy this was. And safe to say my morale at this point was pretty through the floor. Now, with over 1,000 people having gone through it, the course was even worse than the first lap, and I found myself like kind of walking various bits of it just because it was so torn up and my tyres were really just not the right tyre choice for this race.
Here's the hard part now.
And the guy on my right here was an absolute legend, and he was just like pointing to the space next to him saying, you can sit here for a bit. And I was very thankful of his draft. Intensity wise, we'd eased off quite a lot, but I didn't want to sit in the wind, so I was just happy to sit in this echelon that we'd formed.
I'm running that.
And the second lap finished a little bit differently to the first lap, so I followed the sign, and it actually was worse conditions than the first loop.
You okay?
Yeah, good.
I don't have mud tyres. It's alright. Dude, I'm racing like shite. I can't get my heart rate up. Trying, and then I was going really slow, and I looked down and it was like 160. But also the mud, I had the wrong tyres. How did Mikey do?
So we've broken down on the M4 at a service station at least. It's like nearly 9 o'clock, we should have been home at 7. We're gonna be dragged. This is just a bad day. Bad day. Hi, Connie. She's like bartering down the price of our drag home from £400.
And then
Look at that.
Our friend.
Hi.
Oh no. This is not funny.